The deadliest animal in the history of this planet is not a predator. It has no teeth, no claws, no venom, no muscle. It weighs less than a single penny. It is smaller than your fingernail. And it has killed more human beings than every single war in human history combined. More than the sword, more than the gun, more than the atomic bomb, more than murder, more than famine, more than every human being who has ever deliberately taken the life of another human being. All of them added together still do not match the body count of the mosquito. The estimated number is beyond imagining. 50 billion, not million, billion. Across all of recorded and unrecorded human history, the mosquito is believed to have killed approximately 50 billion people. That is more than half of all human beings who have ever been born. And it is still killing right now. Today, while you watch this, every single year, mosquitoes kill somewhere between 700,000 and 1 million people. Not in some ancient past. Right now, in the 21st century, with all of our technology, with all of our science, with all of our hospitals and our medicines and our satellites and our supercomputers, a creature that has no brain larger than the tip of a needle still kills 1 million of us every year, and we cannot stop it. Here is what the mosquito actually is. It is not one thing. There are more than 3,500 different species of mosquito on this planet. They exist on every single continent except Antarctica. They live in deserts, in cities, in jungles, in your backyard. They have been here for approximately 200 million years. That number should stagger you. 200 million years means the mosquito was already ancient when the dinosaurs went extinct. It was here before flowers existed, before birds existed, before grass existed. It drank the blood of dinosaurs. Actual dinosaurs? Scientists have found mosquito fossils preserved in amber with traces of blood still inside them, 130 million years old. It watched the asteroid wipe out the most powerful animals the Earth has ever produced. 75% of all life on the planet died. The mosquito didn't even flinch. It survived every ice age, every mass extinction, every volcanic winter, every catastrophe this planet has ever thrown at the living world. And it is still here, waiting at your window screen tonight, older than almost anything alive, patient in a way that nothing else on Earth is patient. The mosquito does not kill you itself. This is the part people misunderstand. The bite is nothing, a tiny puncture from a needle thinner than a human hair. The mosquito is a syringe, a flying, living, heat-seeking syringe that injects saliva into your bloodstream every time it feeds. And inside that saliva rides something else: parasites, viruses, diseases that have shaped and destroyed human civilizations for as long as civilizations have existed. Malaria, the single word that has ended more human stories than any other disease in history. Here is what malaria actually does inside your body. The parasite enters your blood through the mosquito's saliva. It travels to your liver. It hides. For days, sometimes weeks, it multiplies inside your liver cells, completely invisible to your immune system. Then it explodes out into your bloodstream. Millions of parasites bursting from your liver cells and invading your red blood cells, one by one. They feed inside them. They multiply inside them. And then they burst out again, destroying the cell, releasing toxins, and moving to the next one. Your body responds with fever so violent you shake the bed, chills so deep they feel like your bones are freezing from the inside, and then the sweating. And then it happens again, in waves, every 48 hours, like clockwork. Another generation of parasites bursts out of another wave of blood cells. In severe cases, the infected red blood cells clog the tiny blood vessels in your brain. That is cerebral malaria, and that is where children die. In 2023 alone, malaria killed nearly 600,000 people. Most of them were children. Most of them were under 5 years old. Most of them lived in sub-Saharan Africa, and most of them died from the bite of a single mosquito that weighs less than the pill that could have saved them. But malaria is only the beginning of the list. Dengue fever infects hundreds of millions every year. Yellow fever carved a path of death across the Americas for centuries. Zika, chikungunya, West Nile virus, Japanese encephalitis. Each one delivered the same way: a tiny needle you barely feel, a small itch you scratch without thinking, and inside your blood, something begins to multiply that you will not notice until it is far too late. The mosquito has shaped human history more than any general, any king, any empire. Yellow fever destroyed armies that guns could not touch. When Napoleon sent 40,000 soldiers to reclaim Haiti in 1802, it was not the Haitian Revolution that broke them. It was the mosquito. Yellow fever tore through the French troops with a speed and a lethality that no battlefield could match. Within months, somewhere between 20 and 30,000 of those 40,000 soldiers were dead. Not from combat, from mosquito bites, the greatest military force in the Western world at that time, destroyed by an insect it couldn't see and a disease it couldn't name. Not by swords, not by cannons. By a disease carried inside a creature so small that most of the dying soldiers never knew what killed them. Napoleon, stunned by the losses, abandoned his plans for a Western empire entirely. He sold the Louisiana Territory to the United States for roughly 4 cents an acre because a mosquito made holding it impossible. Think about that. The entire western half of what is now the United States of America changed hands because of mosquitoes. The map of the modern world was literally redrawn by an insect. And that is only one story. The construction of the Panama Canal killed more than 25,000 workers. Most of them did not die from accidents or cave-ins. They died from malaria and yellow fever. The French tried to build the canal first and failed entirely, in large part because the mosquitoes killed their laborers faster than they could replace them. When the Americans finally completed it, the single most important factor was not better engineering. It was a doctor named William Gorgas who drained the standing water, screened the barracks, and fought the mosquito. The canal was not won by machines. It was won by understanding what was actually killing everyone. And here's the thing that sits underneath all of it. The thing that makes this animal different from every other animal in this series: you cannot negotiate with the mosquito. You cannot tame it. You cannot train it. You cannot outrun it. You cannot build a wall high enough. Every other animal we have talked about, the dog, the horse, the cat, the wolf, has a relationship with us, a history, a bond, however twisted or broken or beautiful. The mosquito has no relationship with us. It does not know we exist. It does not care. It follows carbon dioxide and body heat, the way a missile follows a signal. It finds you, it feeds, and if the parasite inside it happens to enter your blood, you get sick. And if you happen to be a child in a village with no clinic, you die. There is no malice, no intention, no awareness, just biology, just a needle and a parasite and a probability, repeated 700,000 times a year. We have tried everything. We have drained swamps on an industrial scale. We have sprayed pesticides across entire continents. DDT, permethrin, chemicals so powerful they poisoned the water, the soil, the birds, the fish, and the people they were supposed to protect. And the mosquito shrugged them off. It mutated. Within a handful of generations, mosquito populations developed genetic resistance to the very poisons we designed to erase them. We tried a different approach. We released genetically modified mosquitoes designed to sterilize their own populations from the inside. We developed bed nets treated with insecticide. We developed drugs. We developed vaccines. And every single time the mosquito adapted, it changed its breeding behavior. It changed its feeding hours. It learned to breed in a bottle cap of standing water, a flower pot, a tire, a discarded cup. A single female can lay 200 eggs at a time, and those eggs can survive complete drought for months, dormant, waiting, until the rain returns and brings them back. You cannot eradicate an animal that was here 200 million years before you arrived, an animal that has survived every extinction event the planet has ever produced, an animal that evolves faster than you can invent. We are not fighting the mosquito. We are managing it. And on the scale of centuries, we are losing. Only the female bites. That is the final quiet detail that makes the story so unbearable. The male mosquito feeds on flower nectar. It pollinates. It minds its own business. It never touches you. It is the female who needs your blood, not for food, not for hunger, for her eggs. She needs the protein locked inside your red blood cells to grow the next generation inside her body. Without your blood, her eggs cannot develop. Without your blood, her species cannot continue. Every single death caused by a mosquito in the entire history of the world was caused by a mother trying to feed her unborn children. Not out of hate, not out of hunger in the way you understand hunger. Out of biological necessity so fundamental, it has been running, unchanged, for 200 million years. That is not evil. That is not cruelty. That is not something you can be angry at, not really. Not if you are honest. That is nature operating at a scale and a coldness that we cannot negotiate with, cannot reason with, cannot plead with, and cannot escape. The mosquito is not a villain. It is a weather system. It does not hate you. It does not know your name. It simply follows the heat of your body in the dark, lands on your skin so gently you might not even wake up, and takes what it needs. And sometimes, what it leaves behind kills you. 50 billion people, more than every war, more than every predator, more than every disaster. An animal with no brain worth mentioning, no strength worth measuring, and no awareness of the destruction it leaves behind. The deadliest creature in the history of life on this planet is not a monster. It is a mother, and she has been here for 200 million years, and she is not going anywhere. If this one sat differently than the others, if the scale of it is hard to hold in your head, tell me in the comments. Tell me what fact you cannot stop thinking about. And hit subscribe, because the next animal in this series has 3 hearts, blue blood, and edits its own genetic code. It is the closest thing to an alien mind on planet Earth. And it has been watching you from the deep water for longer than you know. Ring the bell. You are not ready for this one.